Tonight on the program, it's impossible not to discuss the big fight happening this weekend. Of course, I'm talking about the Canelo Alvarez versus Caleb Plant fight at the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's for all the marbles. For the very first time in boxing history, an undisputed champion at 168 pounds will be crowned. Dennis, a lot of people hold Canelo in high regard, with some, including yours truly, brand him as the most complete boxer of this generation because of his brilliance on both offensive and defensive ends. And kung titignan natin, ang odds, hands down, siyang tinitignan na pwedeng manalo. At kung tatanungin din natin ang mga kasama natin sa industriya, no one is giving Caleb Plant a chance to win this fight. But let's play devil's advocate here. Do you see qualities in Caleb Plant that could pose a problem against Canelo Alvarez on fight night?
Well, for sure, ano. Sa tagal natin nagko-cover ng sport of boxing, you cannot belittle anyone. No? The more that you belittle an opponent, the more na malalagay ka sa alanganin. Ang problema lang ni Caleb Plant is that apart from all the aspects ni Canelo Alvarez sa binanggit mo, is one of the most disciplined fighters. At alam natin yung kanyang ability to come back from adversities. He was beaten by Floyd Mayweather Jr. Nakita natin kung gaano siya bumalik. He was able to rebound big time from that loss. Now, Caleb Plant, while yun nga sinasabi natin, you cannot underestimate any fighter. I believe that Caleb Plant, being from a place wherein talaga naman masabing they're aching to see a boxing hero to come out from their area. That itself could serve as a motivation for Caleb Plant. And remember, yung kanilang press conference, nagkaroon ng
mainit.
Mainit, personalan. So that may favor, that may add fuel to whatever fire, however small that may be, on the part of Caleb Plant.
Totoo yun. At hindi naman kilala ang Nashville, Tennessee pagdating sa boxing. And also, totoo, I would agree kasi lalo na may tinatawag na puncher's chance pagdating sa sport of boxing. And also, I would agree that Plant has distinct characteristics as a fighter. But the problem here is, Dennis, is if those good qualities will be able to hold out against Canelo Alvarez, because of course, ang maiisip ko dyan, of course, may quickness si Caleb Plant, and of course, may above-average footwork, and he'd be a test for any super middleweight. But at the level of Canelo Alvarez, meron akong qualms ng konti. And Caleb Plant is dealing with a boxer who has the most savage body punching in the game today, and a boxer who has undeniable defense thanks to his head movement, and a boxer who has one of the best chins in the game. And ang problema ko dito, Dennis, is Caleb Plant is not a big puncher to throw Canelo off his game. Now, Dennis, Caleb Plant has a tall order in front of him, and it's an understatement. Now, does he have the skills to, stretch this out? Kasi for him to reach this level, of course, it attests na, he has the skills. But to me, it's really up to Caleb Plant to determine how long this fight goes. But to you, what should Caleb Plant do to stretch this out and make it really competitive and difficult for the judges to score the round, per round?
Well, the skill is there, Caleb Plant is able to prove that. Although yung power niya, he may have stopped more than half of his opponent, and people were talking about yung sinasabing kanyang punching power when he knocked out Mike Lee, or when he stopped Mike Lee. Mike Lee fell several times in that bout. Nakalimutan ko lang kung ilan. And then later on, he was able to score I think another knockout in his next two fights. But kung titignan naman natin yung resume, malayo pa rin talaga si Canelo Alvarez. I think the his best chance really is to start, not really to start strong, but to start a wise fight plan. Hanggat maaari, he needs to establish yung kanyang momentum, and then dalhin siya hanggang sa dulo ng kanilang 12-round title fight with enough momentum, because right now I don't see him hurting really with just one punch, si Canelo Alvarez. And another thing is that he should avoid the solid blows of Canelo Alvarez. Doon sa aspeto na yun, I think he can do that. He has that ability. He'll get tagged a few times, but as to the volume, yun ang dapat niyang iwasan dito against Canelo Alvarez.
Yan ang aabangan natin on Fight Night this weekend. And of course, Dennis, pag-usapan na natin yung inaabangan na isa pang aspeto ng laban na to, yung historical significance of it. As I mentioned earlier, the 168-pound division will herald its first undisputed champion since its inception in 1967. Matagal natin hindi narinig yung salitang undisputed champion, and I believe it took 10 years para makakita tayo ng undisputed champion in the form of Terence Crawford in 2017. Now, when he defeated ito nga si Julius Indongo, nasundan pa ito ni Josh Taylor, Alexander Usyk, Claressa Shields, and Katie Taylor. Now, Canelo Alvarez, who's regarded as the face of boxing today and the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, is now taking part of a unification fight that can be considered as a high risk. So sa akin, malaking impact ito sa sport of boxing. It is something that Canelo's superstar predecessors such as Oscar De La Hoya, Floyd Mayweather, and Manny Pacquiao have never done in their career. It also fosters yun nga ang tinatawag na culture of the best, fighting the best. Tingin mo ba, Dennis, itong laban na to can encourage promoters, fighters, and even the organizations to push for every division should have one king?
As far as the organizations are concerned, we saw one encouraging photo, at least sa akin. I don't know if this was shown in public. I think it was an event in Puerto Rico wherein yung kaibigan natin si Sean Gibbons, he showed me a picture in a hotel room, with all 4 presidents, ng boxing organizations. And yun nga lang, nakalimutan ko po, hindi ko pa natatanong kung bakit nandun, ano ba talaga pinag-usapan, is there a chance for them to unify? It's still far-fetched, because the bottom line is business pa rin ito. It's all about business. And can you imagine just one champion? Paano na yung ibang organizations, paano sila maghahati-hati sa business of it? So malabo pa rin yan. But, para sa akin, I would still encourage having, ito na yung most probably for boxing organizations, because it adds glitter to match-ups. Kasi kung isa lang and then puro challenger, maganda nga ngayon, one champion with 2 belts, the other one with 1 belt, maglalaban sila, both are legitimate champions. So it's a unique situation for boxing to have a few champions, pero yun nga lang, eventually dapat merong isang magiging undisputed champion, because
or
ang
unified
boxing naman, or unified champion, because kung makikita mo naman, ang isang champion naman, matagal na yung 2-3 years na maging undisputed or unified. So nagkakaroon ng glamour, nagkakaroon ng legitimacy. Pero alam mo, ang interesting sa akin dito, and probably this is one thing na pwedeng pag-usapan in the near future. So Canelo Alvarez is about to, if ever, if he wins this fight, he'll be creating history as a first unified champion. Baka ito na yung cue na inaantay ng mga fans ni Andre Ward na magsagawa ng comeback at hamunin niya just one time, Canelo Alvarez.
One thing is certain, that history will be made this weekend, and of course, round by round, we'll give you your fix of post-fight analysis on Monday. So make sure to tune in this coming Monday.